Hello. Camera on. Recording.
Hello people, I'm back. Thought I'd give you a quick tour of where I spent the night. They have offerings for pretty much everybody. There's lots of RVs and whatnot down here. They separate the sections by what kind of service they offer. Electrical service like 20 amp, 30 amp, whatever. Because the bigger units, if you have a huge RV, can take quite a bit of energy. I like this guy. Pulling a fifth wheel camper with a 18 wheeler. I know another guy, Cliff Peel, does the same thing. And he said he has a hard time finding campgrounds that'll let him in, but that truck will never fail because it's not hauling anything as far as the truck's concerned. He said he gets better gas mileage than an RV does. It's more reliable. It's got better brakes. It's actually a really good idea. Now that guy's obviously a trucker because that's too new. But Cliff bought like a 1990 truck with 2 million miles on it. These are campsites, tent sites, and you see the cabins over here and the bathhouse. People kind of balk at mileage, but you think about a Mack built for cruising the highways. 2 million miles is end of life as far as hauling loads, but ain't nothing for just regular driving. Also figured I would tell you about some lessons I've learned and some mistakes that I've made. Some more pull-throughs. Some of these are really nice too. Some of these people are like assholes. Douglas Adams was right. Always have a towel. I forgot my towel. That made life a little difficult. I had to borrow one from somebody so I could clean off my visor and all that. As you can tell, it's a family-friendly place. This is the cabin that I stayed in. As you can see, there's a little deck and a table over there. One of the employees gave me a rag, basically, that I used to clean off the bugs on the visor that were so thick that I couldn't close the visor and actually be able to see anything. What else? Oh, my pot, as I mentioned in another video that's probably going up, my pot is smaller than my burner. Okay. That's the kind of thing you don't really think about until it actually happens. What else was there? The towel was actually a pretty big deal because you can't shower without a towel. I packed a bunch of pillowcases thinking they were sheets. I wanted to bring 3 sheets. I ended up with 2 sheets and about 12 pillowcases. The KOA campgrounds also usually have a pool, a rec center of some sort. This one just happens to have a bowling alley. There's arcades in there, and I remember as a kid playing video games in the KOA arcade, basketball court, volleyball court, a little bit of everything. It's a pretty cool little place, and that cabin costs about half what your typical hotel costs, especially if you're in a destination type area where hotels run $130, $140 a night. That $64 cabin's not a bad deal. It's actually pretty good in that case. Cheapest hotel, I was looking at hotels on the trip. The cheapest one I was able to find was $110. Beginners. They were at the site across from me, and they were talking about how it was the first time they'd done this, and they borrowed their RV from mom and dad. And apparently he's a beginner to towing trailers too. He's down there checking out the chains and all that shit. Wonder what happened. Part of me wants to stop and say, hey, I can probably help, but at the same time, they were kind of noisy. So if you're staying in a campground, don't be noisy. But yeah, basic campground, you know. Nothing super special. They're fairly nice. They have primitive sites if you want. And they have, the cabin that I was in is a tent with an air conditioner. There's beds, but no sheets, no sink, no bathroom. They have what they call deluxe cabins that do have bathrooms that are basically a hotel room for about the same price as a hotel room. So if you want to go that route, it's still not a bad idea. The only problem is you do have to bring your own linens. So still no sheets, but shit, sheets don't take up that much space. And sometimes I'd rather stay in a campground like that than a hotel anyway. Just because it's a much friendlier atmosphere. You know, everybody that walks by waves and talks to you. If you look grumpy and pissy, they'll leave you alone. I had 4 or 5 conversations about riding the Blue Ridge and the Dragon. Lots of people know about the Dragon. None of them know where it's at. Half of them don't even know what it's called, but they know it's there. And they usually light up a little bit when I'm like, yeah, I live over there. I ride that bastard every other day. Every weekend, anyway. Not every other day. Only that close. But, anyway.
Recording stopped. Goodbye.